Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see the Content Explorer in Microsoft Purview. I'll just log on to the portal and take it from there. Alright, I'm logged on to the portal purview.microsoft.com, and if you are at the home screen and you don't see the information protection option, you click on Solutions and you'll see the information protection option. Come to it and then click on Explorers on the left pane, and then click on the Content Explorer. You will get this message if you do not have proper licenses, and I'm getting it because I have the trial version of the Purview license. Click on Close and you will see this. Make sure that you have either global admin, compliance administrator, security administrator, or compliance data administrator permissions to access the items in the Content Explorer. Because Content Explorer will allow you to natively view the items that were summarized on the overview page. So if you see the overview page here under information protection, because I don't have any data or detection of sensitivity labels, I have not created any, but this is the data that you will see the summarization of under the Content Explorer. And you will note that the access to the Content Explorer is highly restricted because it lets you read the contents of the scanned files. We have Content Explorer List Viewer. So membership in this group allows you to see each item and its location in the list view. And then we have Content Explorer Content Viewer. Membership in this group allows you to view the contents of each item in the list. Make sure that you grant the Data Classification List Viewer or Data Classification Content Viewer role. And you can also assign either or both of the roles to a custom role group to tailor access to the Content Explorer. Now we have Microsoft Purview roles and role groups, through which you can assign a particular user a kind of group to have the access on the Content Explorer. Now the Content Explorer, as it shows you the current snapshot of the items that have a sensitivity label or a retention label or have been classified as a sensitive information type in your tenant or in your organization. As I've already told you about the sensitive information types, when you can apply a DLP policy which will help you protect the sensitive information which is defined as a sensitive information type. So first you will define through the data classification, okay, this is the data that is critical, and this is all of the data that I have, and these are the types of data I want to classify, right? You will do that through sensitive information type built-in SITs, right? Then after you classify the data, you will protect that data through the DLP policy, which is data loss prevention. So Microsoft 365 includes definitions for many common sensitive information types from across many different regions that are ready for us to use. For example, credit card number, bank account numbers, or national ID numbers. Then you'll see sensitivity labels that are applied in here you'll see that, which is simply a tag that indicates the value of the item to your organization, right? It can be done manually or it can be done automatically. Once applied, the label gets embedded in the document and will follow the document everywhere it goes. A sensitivity label enables various protective behaviors such as mandatory watermarking or encryption. Sensitivity labels must be enabled for files that are in SharePoint and OneDrive in order for the corresponding data to surface in the data classification page. Then you have retention labels. Now that you have protected the data, then you'll have to do data lifecycle management. Through this, you will define how long a labeled item is kept and the steps to be taken prior to deleting it. Like what will be the duration to keep certain kind of data. They are also applied manually or automatically via policies. They can help play a role in helping the organization and data protection program to stay in compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. Right? How will you use the Content Explorer? You will come to the, let's say you want to do to data lifecycle management. Come here, click on here as well. It's one and the same thing, right? Then you can do that through classification as well. So you come to Compliance Manager, Solutions, now if you know the name of the label, I'll go back. Here. If you know the label or sensitive information type, you can type that into the filter box. Alternately, you can browse for the item by expanding the label type and selecting. I don't have any data here. That's why I'm not able to see it. Now, if you'll see the all locations and if you'll drill down, let's say in the SharePoint or OneDrive or Exchange, you can see the folder structure to that item. Double click to open the item natively in Content Explorer, and you can then export the data or the file, because it will create a .csv file that would contain a listing of whatever the focus of the pane is. And then you can use filterization of the data, because when you will drill down into a location such as an Exchange or a Teams folder or a SharePoint or OneDrive, the filter tool appears. The scope of this search tool is what is displaying as an all locations pane, and what you can search on varies depending on the selected location. So this was I wanted to discuss about the Content Explorer. We'll explore more options from the Microsoft Purview portal so that we understand all of the corresponding solutions that Microsoft Purview has to provide. So I hope this was informative for all of you. If you have any further queries, please mention them in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.